today on Divorce Court.
I definitely would like for Tedrick to get a job and keep a job.
I haven't found nothing that I really wanted to start a career with.
He doesn't think about the consequences of that. Bills are still due. We're having intimacy issues because a man that can't provide for his family or doesn't take that seriously is a turnoff, and it just doesn't make me want to do anything.
I want the judge to let her know that she needs to be a better wife towards her husband.
I don't think he thinks that I would leave him, but I would. I'm getting to the point where I'm tired. I can't do it all.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Ariel Daughtry and Tedric Daughtry. The two of you have been together for 4 years, married for 9 months. You have one 9-month-old at home, and you are in trouble already, so you have come here to ask me my advice to get things back on track. Ms. Daughtry, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your marriage and why you're here in divorce court today?
Judge Toller, I'm here today, hopefully, to get my marriage on track.
Yeah?
And we've just had a crisis of him not being able to keep a job and support our family. So it's getting to the point I can't do it by myself, and I need help, and I need him to step up.
Did he have a job when you married him?
Off and on.
Off and on. Mm-hmm. Not a good sign.
No.
Did you vet him at all when you met him?
No.
Did you, hey, what's your plans, my man? What you gonna do? What's your bank account look like? What's your credit score? Did you do any of that?
No.
What's he doing now? Tell me some of the ways in which he is failing to secure your union.
Well, for example, just recently, he wanted to use my car because there was a job that he was going to. And I told him, yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, go ahead. This is a job, do it. And I let him use my car. He brought back my car on E, and I had to go to work the next day, and he knew I had to go to work. So it really made me upset. And not only that, he used my credit card for 98 cents to buy a 12-pack of chicken. And it was just really unthoughtful.
Did he get a job?
Yeah, he worked that job.
He did work that job? Mm-hmm. Mr. Daughtry, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Okay, all righty. I understand you're an aspiring rapper.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. You seem to have difficulty maintaining employment. Did I get that wrong?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Tell me your philosophy about work and economics in the home.
As far as me with a job,
yeah.
I just been working staffing jobs, just temporary jobs for right now. Really haven't found nothing that a career job yet. It's kind of hard right now.
Why?
Issues back in the past with misdemeanors that I have. So as far as getting a good job, it's harder to get into.
Well, how about a regular job that you can get and stay on it for a while, and as they begin to trust you and you can work your way up and through into something better? Have you gone that route at all?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I just recently started working. Been there for three weeks, and and I'm starting to get some type of payments coming in, checks.
You say that when he gets tired of going a job, he'll just walk off. He had a job making good money, cleaning up in Houston, I believe. Why don't you tell me about that and what happened to that job?
Yes, so as you know, there was a hurricane that happened in Houston, and then there were companies looking for people to help clean up after the hurricane, so they were paying really well. And he worked for a week and made a decent amount of money, and then rent was due. He went out and bought a PlayStation instead of helping us pay rent. So therefore, my mom had to pick up the slack when I had a husband.
Did you buy a gaming system as opposed to kicking in on rent?
Well, my check was big enough to go half on the rent. I really didn't have a lot of money to pay all the rent. She don't let me go out to try to go get a haircut or do my music career or do nothing. She don't want me to do nothing without her.
That's not true.
What do you mean she doesn't let you go out? And what does that have to do with buying a game system as opposed to paying rent?
I don't have no problem paying the rent. It just.
But you didn't. Is that right?
Yeah, I bought the PlayStation, far as me having something to do at home instead of being instead of being bored on my off days or the days I didn't work, I had something to do instead of sitting at home not doing nothing. And
Why didn't you get another job?
I could have got another job, but I couldn't. If I would have got another job, I wouldn't be able to do my music career because it would have went towards something else that she decided. Because she tried to be more controlling.
Ms. Daughtry, why don't you tell me, your mother had to move in. Tell me why.
After I had my son, I got really sick. I was in the hospital, and then once I was released from the hospital, I suffered from postpartum depression. So I couldn't work, I couldn't get out the bed. I was mentally, emotionally, physically unable to do anything. And I turned to my husband looking for help, like, help me do something, and he did nothing. And I had no choice but to turn back to my mom. We were gonna be homeless, we needed somewhere to live. And I relied on my mom.
So what happened when your wife didn't work? Did that happen that way, or do you have another story for me?
When she wasn't working, I was there supporting her, at the hospital with her and stuff like that at the time of being. I was still working a staffing job, looking for a real job, but it was like off and on. But at the time, I was doing the best that I can, and being by her side, right then and there.
Best that you can. You can get 3, 4 fast food jobs. You know what I mean? Just go from one to another, to another, to another. Because nothing make a woman more depressed than not having something to, having stability. You came up light, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah. I know that your mother is living at your house with you, so I know she has a bird's eye view on this tragedy. So I'm going to bring her out and talk to her next and see what she has to say about this situation.
I got to do everything her way, or do it the way she want me to do it to make her happy. So it just, I feel like I was forced into marriage, and I can also feel like,
Of course.
Well, you have to explain that. What do you mean? Why do you feel forced into marriage? So, Ms. Daughtry, I know you have had to move your mother in to help you out, so I'm going to have her join us here today and get her opinion about what's going on while she's coming out here. Do you have any other concerns, financial areas, or things that you feel he hasn't been supportive in? Do you have any stories to tell me?
Like I was telling you about the Popeye story, that's a thing that happens consistently, like with other things, like the money that he just blows and buys things that are not necessarily important. Like when, our son needs diapers and wipes, he'll look for a family member to go and buy that rather than going out and hustling and buying that as a father. And I feel like that's important to do.
Do you call family members to help you take care of your own baby as opposed to getting out there and hustling and getting some money together?
Well, my mom help out, sometimes. But as far as that, when I get paid, I will buy Pampers and support my son, whatever he need, I will pay for that.
Don't you feel at all concerned, or don't you feel a little like, I'm looking a little light out here, I'm looking kind of trifling? You don't seem to have any sense of shame about you.
Well, it's like, I feel like I was like forced into marriage, and I can also feel like,
Forced?
Well, you have to explain that.
What
do you mean? Why do you feel forced into marriage?
I never proposed. It was her idea, wanted to get married and stuff like that. And
wow.
On top of that, when we got together, I got to do everything her way, or do it the way she want me to do it to make her happy. So it's new to me.
Like what? What does she want to do her way that you can't do your way?
Like far as getting a job and doing other stuff, because I was into my music career, chasing my dreams, songs on the radio and stuff like that.
Were you supporting yourself when you met her?
Yes, ma'am, I was supporting myself when I met her.
But now you're letting her support you.
At the time, I was doing my music career. She didn't want me to do it no more, so it was just.
So you stopped?
I ain't had transportation at the time, so it was just her or my music.
Yeah. Mrs. Gant, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you coming to my courtroom. I want to get your opinion on their union.
Well, I'm concerned that Tedrick works not consistently. He doesn't work very consistently. You know, he works, when I first moved in, he was working. I understand it was a pretty difficult job, you know, hot job, and it seems as soon as I moved in, something happened to that job.
Yeah.
And my understanding, my communication with my daughter and him was that I'll be there to help you all out with the baby as long as both of y'all out there working. You know, I'll help take care of the baby. I'll take care of the baby.
Is he an engaged father? When he's home, does he deal with his son and is a primary parenting figure in his life?
He does deal with him. You know, he does seems to be a father that cares about his son, but then at times he will give a lot of attention to his video games rather than that kind of concerns me. I'm also concerned that, you know, that he be a good parent, the best parent he can be. You know, it's all right to be with him sometimes, but you need to be the best parent you can be.
I got you.
And I tell them both that you have to make sacrifices for your children.
Right.
You know, and so, and one of the, being a good parent is also supporting your child.
Right, economically.
Economically.
Mrs. Daughtry, he said you forced him into marriage and you looked aghast. Why don't you tell me how you saw your union and why you were so surprised when he said that?
Because that's not the truth. So he has asked me to marry him, and I actually didn't marry him until after we had our son because I wanted our family together. But he's asked me to marry him like 2 years ago when he bought me my ring.
Did you sense any hesitation? Did you sense that he wasn't down for it? Did you, like, you know, was he dragging his feet? Was he hemming and hawing a little bit? Did you see any of this coming?
No.
Nothing.
What do you mean?
Well, then, I sense that Mama sees something else, so we're gonna take a minute here and we're gonna find out what Mama saw. He seems to be indicating in some off-the-wall way that you've got him imprisoned there and won't allow him to go out and make his music. Would you care to respond to that? Would you marry someone because you had a child together? Tell us what you think at facebook.com/Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. Mrs. Gant, you said you noticed hesitancy in Mr. Daughtry. Is that true? Or at least your face said that. I don't know if you were ready to speak it, but I'm gonna ask you to.
I hesitancy in both of them. You know, she wasn't in a big hurry to get married. I think she wanted to be with him, but she wasn't in a big hurry to marry him. I think she saw that he was pretty irresponsible. You know, they were together for a few years before they got married, and he didn't work consistently then. And they even lived off and on together, and he wasn't working consistently. So I think he pretty much...
So it should be no surprise to her.
No, that he wasn't going to do that, you know, and
Ms. Daughtry, I want to ask you something. My understanding is you have decided to meet this problem in an interesting way. You've said no job, no sex. And the more you work, the more you get. Is that true?
I just feel like he doesn't deserve it. Like, why should I have to work, clean, cook, take care of the baby, and then have sex with him? That's like he's having the life.
Yeah.
What do I get? You know? Like,
did you hear that, Mr. Daughtry?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, she's doing everything and you're doing nothing. Do you at all feel like that?
Well, you know, she doesn't cook.
Do you?
Well, I cook. She try to cook sometimes, but mostly, you know, it would be me cooking. You know.
Since you're not working, don't you think that's something you should be doing?
But I be working, but it be like off and on. But I help out the best I can. Whatever my check is, I give it to her, and she use that to pay bills, whatever she want to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So I help out and support the best that I can.
Can your baby eat the best that you can?
Now I support
Is
myself.
that digestible? The best that I can? Something happens and somebody needs something, and you're gonna look over and say, did the best I could. Y'all on your own. That's what you're gonna say?
Nah, well, it depends. If I'm not with her, then I can do what I need to do. But if I'm doing it her way, then it's just I got to do what I can.
He seems to be indicating in some off-the-wall way that you've got him imprisoned there and won't allow him to go out and make his music. Would you care to respond to that? The nature of his freedom?
well, I don't tie him to the bed, and, you know, like, he's free to do as he pleases. But I feel like if he can't act right, then he can't, you know, go out and he wants to go to the club and throw money. Like, that's a waste of money. That's not responsible. That's not what he needs to be doing. So yeah, if he's gonna go do that, then no, I'm not gonna support that, and I don't think he does need to go out for that reason.
I understand what's going on. I wish I didn't, but I do. I have something to say to everybody. Which information would you require from your partner before marriage? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. Mr. Daughtry, you are a sluggish, trifling individual. You are comfortable living off the work and the efforts of women while you play games and don't take care of your kid, and you say, well, they're not, these jobs that I could get aren't my passion, therefore I will not do them.
Well, if I work, I have to pay, my money go towards bills. So
Yes! 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 Your money goes to, no, you're not entitled to anything, son. You're not entitled to do as you please or what you want or how you'd like to be. You are required to take care of your obligations. You don't want to be a man, don't make a baby. You don't want to be a man, don't get married. Yeah, you gotta work for bills. Everybody, he pays bills, I pay bills. She pays bills, she's paying bills. Why are you exempt? You pay your bills with the money that you make. You need to kick this brother to the curb. He's trifling in no count, and he doesn't seem to see it as a problem. He seems to believe that he should enjoy his life. And however he's going to enjoy his life, if he's not going to have fun making money, he ain't gonna make no money. And he's got a chick at home, brought his mama in, mama paying half the rent. He's still in there Game Boying and doing whatever. And you got you are parenting that child where our whole community is on its knees because of dudes like you. Ms. Daughtry, you cannot control anything until you control your fertility. You saw he was trifling and no count. You saw he was no job having somebody. You know how many video games he played, but you had stars in your eyes and you had a dream and you want to get married, then you got knocked up and then boom, 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 I'm gonna get married and it doesn't make a man out of him. Don't help him at all. They install you in their house as the best appliance they got. A money-making, sex-having, baby-taken care of, buying me Game Boy, getting me studio time person, and you getting nothing in the bargain. You better step. I mean, see, if I was your mother, Joe would be handcuffing me right now. Because I'd be over there whooping you on top of the head with the back of my shoe. Be a better man. Prove me wrong. I doubt that's going to happen, but work on it. This matter is adjourned.
I feel shocked, abandoned, disappointed, like I'm hurt, and I mean, I wanted our family to be together, but if he just is not gonna fix, the issues that we have, we can't.
Oh yes, the judge really let me have it. She was wrong. I really couldn't explain more on my side. She just seen her side, but I would prove them wrong.
Watching my daughter go through this is painful for me also. I want her to be happy. I want my grandson to be happy. He's a sweet baby. I want him to be happy.